Ruski's Crypto Cave here, and today we're going to talk a little bit more about my Bitcoin node and the solo mining that I am doing. I have a few different things going on. I am running the instance of public pool, if you see my previous videos, and I have the BitX Gamma running about 600 gigahash or so, I think it is. No, that Gamma is at 1.2 terahash, currently at 8. Supra is 600 gigahash, Nano 3 running right around the 2.5 to 3 terahash on medium mode. 17 nerd miners, 900 kilohash to maybe a megahash. Those guys will probably never, ever find the block. But see, the max difficulty is only 511. Everything else is in the millions. My best share ever has been 8.62 billion so far. The Nerd QX running around 5 terahash. And then here you see S19K Pro. I just switched this over last night. You can see down to the hash rate chart, the big spike here around 9 p.m. last night or so. I switched it over, and it's been up and hashing. Let's see, we'll hop over here. Do have it running at about 110 terahash, roughly about 2,600 watts or so. I'm just messing around with a couple different tunes just to see. As far as getting the efficiency, I'm probably going to drop it down to say 105, 110 to or 100 to 95. Just kind of messing around with it just to see where I could get to. Because I was messing around with the calculator. There we go. And if it's running at, let's see, there it is. Yeah, 2663 watts, 24 hours a day. 63,912 watts. Divide that by 1,000 is 63.9 kilowatts. Times roughly 12 cents, which is about what my power rate is, and it's $7.67 a day to run, and roughly probably 31 days in May, because my game plan is to run it the entire month of May, solo mining to my own node, and so it's going to cost about $237 this month. Might drop a little bit, just because I am going to mess around with and lower the power usage and stuff like that, but say probably $225 in that range for the month of May, just to play around and solo mine to my own node. See if I get lucky. Probably won't, but hey. One way I won't hit a block is not trying, so that's one way for sure. But as you can see over here, latency 4.6 milliseconds, so that is fantastic. It's just a matter of now getting my node, getting it out to the Bitcoin network. That's the speed that's probably most important, just so I don't get an orphan block. Because how much would that suck to hit a block but have it be an orphan? That would be heartbreaking, to say the least. So, but anyways, they're running around, say, like 2660 is the watts, 24.4 joules per terahash on the S19K Pro. I'm going to let it run like this maybe for a day or so, and then maybe tomorrow mess around and drop it to like 105, see where the efficiency comes out at, and then mess around maybe 100, so on and so forth. And then let's see how it's going, just because the chips get more red chips in here when the temps are a little bit cooler. I noticed that it does like to be a little bit warmer as far as operating temperature, but I don't want it to get too hot, so because then it uses more power. So I'm just trying to kind of find a sweet spot and stuff. So, and because right now the temps are right around 60 degrees outside, so it is running the AC Infinity inline fan, and it has one of those Najord fan controller, so the controller is adjusting the fan speed of the AC Infinity fan. So might be cooling it a little bit too much, just because I would prefer that those to be green or at least yellow. But so maybe could be just some chip issues on the board too, whatever. But for the most part, it still hashes pretty well. No real complaints there. But anyway, it's been gonna leave it run for a little bit, like I said, probably a day or so at this setting, and then we'll mess around and switch some of the settings around. I do need to, I knew there was a 29.1 or something like that Bitcoin node, Bitcoin Core software was updated, so I do need to update that, and I don't think that should be too difficult, I would think, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I haven't really looked into seeing how to do it either, so back to here. This has been, yeah, Best difficulty is 48.95 million. I think that's the session difficulty, because I believe that was over 100 and some. Because it's been I had a restart about 24 minutes ago or so, and so that's the best session difficulty there. And these things, you see, these things restart sometimes fairly often. So the Nano 3 looks like I had to restart it, or reconnect, or whatever you want to call it. And the bit axis, 4 days, so they've been going strong. Currently probably have guessing about 120 terahash right now, solo mining to my own node. So we're going to give that a whirl for, like I said, for the whole entire month of May. And at the end of May, we'll do an update video. Be nice to do it sooner if I hit a block, but I'm not really expecting to, obviously. So, but we're going to get this a try. And YOLO on solo for at least a month. I'm going to do this again. I did this before, but it was the CK pool. I think sometime last year I was messing around with it. I don't know if I went a full month, though. I just went for a little bit. And unsuccessful. So, we'll see what happens here. This is going to take another swing and see what happens. GPU mining has been pretty shitty lately, so we got a little bit of a pump. Cubic, I haven't really messed around mining Cubic. Pretty much most of the rigs have been turned off, except for the CMP cards. I still have one on Zealous, one on Ergo. That hasn't changed pretty much for the entire month. So I don't really plan on turning anything else on, just because I don't really think there's a whole lot worth it to turn on. Even at 4090s, we're making 38 cents. Don't have any 50 series, 40 series. Even a 170HX is only making 8 cents. 38 Ti, 3060 Ti GDR6X is making 3 cents. And normal 3060 Ti is making 2 cents on Cubic. See if there's anything else. Yeah, nothing else is Pulsar coin. And nothing is Telestai losing 50 cents a car. Is it 50 cents a car? That's on 6. We'll base it on 1. Yeah. So it's losing 2 cents, losing 5 cents, losing 7, losing 7, losing 8, losing 8, losing 10, losing 11, losing 13 cents, losing 13 cents. So yeah, nothing's profitable. So the GPUs are going to remain off. I'll just leave the CMP cards on, which actually they're probably even losing more money, but we'll just let them go. There they are. CMPs. So they're losing 9 cents a day on Cubic. Zealous losing 95 cents a day on the one rig, and about $1.12. So basically, probably about losing $2 a day on those two rigs combined, which isn't terrible, but it's not good to lose money. But it is what it is. If you just have something running just to fill the bags a little bit, but not sure if I'm going to switch them to something else. But main thing that I've been, just the trend of my recent videos, I've been messing around, tinkering around with solo mining. It's kind of fun. Chances of hitting a block are very, very low, but it's something to mess around with, something to play with. And hey, you never know. So we're going to keep on doing that. One other thing I want to look into as far as see how difficult it is to install. I'm pretty sure you can install the CK pool software onto an Umbrel. I just haven't really read into how to do it. So, I mean, it's all Linux based, so I wouldn't think it would be too difficult as long as you just have the commands and just running all the commands. So that may be a topic for a future video. But for the time being, we're just going to still rock here with public pool and see how things go. Like I said, we'll do an update on this at the end of May and see how things went. And kind of track to see what our best difficulty 2 is for the month. Because going into it, the best difficulty was 8.62 billion. Let's see if we can get something better than that. And because it needs to be over that to solve a block. So pretty much it needs to be in the trillions. So it's got a long way to go as far as difficulty wise, as far as the share. But it is kind of all random, so you never know. we'll keep on trying. So until the next video, which will probably be over the weekend, it's going to be the May or April, I should say, profitability. Let's see how the month of April went. Just plugged some numbers in the spreadsheet quick this morning, and it actually doesn't look like it was too bad, mainly because I had a lot of shit turned off, and I wasn't burning electricity for nothing and losing money. So the profit, I think, is going to be a little bit better than it was last month and the month before. So not quite what January was or last year, but still better than it has been. So until then, that will probably come out. My guess is going to be Sunday, maybe tomorrow, because I believe I'm going to be off tomorrow just because of the way the month ended. My day off got changed and stuff. Normally I was off yesterday, so I might even do that video tomorrow. I'm going to try to release a video this morning here on Thursday before I go into work, and just to get something out. And then we'll see you in the next one. So until then, catch you later.